Hello and welcome to the World Battery Metals and Mining News for the 24th of July, 2024. Teck invests in Armenia explorer Fremont Gold. Fremont Gold has secured an equity investment from Teck Resources to bolster its exploration projects in Armenia, specifically targeting the Vardenis copper-gold property and the Urusar District Gold Project. The investment, part of a $2 million private placement, will fund key activities such as a 22-kilometer IP survey at Vardenis and the initial drilling campaign at Urusar. This partnership with Teck Resources, which now holds a 6.89% stake in Fremont, is seen as a significant endorsement of the company's Armenian ventures. Following the announcement, Fremont's stock saw a 20% increase on the TSXV, reaching sealed cents per share. Anglo to face investors with wary eye on BHP's potential return. Anglo American CEO Duncan Wanblad is set to update investors on the company's strategic refocus towards copper, iron ore, and a fertilizer project, following the rejection of a $49 billion takeover bid by BHP Group. Key points of interest will include updates on the sale of the company's Australian coking coal assets, potentially impacted by a fire at the Grosvenor mine, and the expected write-off for the Woodsmith fertilizer project in northern England. Additionally, there are plans for restructuring, including the demerger of its platinum unit, potential diamond production cuts at De Beers, and divestment of other businesses by 2025. Investors are particularly interested in the company's copper assets in Latin America, valued for their long-term potential and profitability within the mining sector. Vedanta seeks partners to develop Zambia mines. It's regaining Vedanta Resources Limited, founded by billionaire Anil Agarwal, is seeking business partners to enhance production at its Zambian copper assets as it regains control after protracted legal disputes. The company aims to invest $1 billion in exploration, development, and production at the Konkola Copper Mines, KCM assets, and has issued a call for expressions of interest in the Times of Zambia newspaper, with a deadline of July 31st. Vedanta lost control of KCM in 2019 when the Zambian government placed the operations under provisional liquidation due to allegations of false expansion claims and insufficient tax payments, leading to a lengthy legal battle. With the assets now returning to Vedanta, Agarwal prioritizes KCM as a major copper source for Resource Limited India, by Matthew Hill and Tonga Mitamingi. Deep-sea miner TMC plans to be ready to apply for license. Canada's The Metals Company, TMC, plans to apply for a license to start deep-sea mining by the end of the year, aiming to begin production in early 2026. The company has aligned its application timeline with the conclusion of the United Nations International Seabed Authority, ISA, meeting in July, which is negotiating the final draft of seabed mining regulations in Kingston, Jamaica. Although TMC previously indicated it might delay the application due to pending environmental test results, CEO Gerard Barron affirmed no change in their timeline. The mining will be conducted in the Clarion-Clipperton zone, believed to be less harmful than land mining. However, new research indicating potential negative impacts on the seafloor ecosystem and a formal complaint filed against TMC by civil society groups alleging misleading information may pose challenges. Teck Resources beats second quarter profit estimates. Canadian miner Teck Resources surpassed second quarter profit expectations driven by increased copper production from its Quebrada Blanca mine in Chile and a rise in copper prices. Copper prices, averaging 4.42 cents per pound, climbed 15% from the previous year, while Teck's quarterly copper production soared by 71% due to ramped-up operations at the QB mine. Despite this, Teck lowered its full-year copper production forecast to between 435,000 and 500,000 tons due to anticipated short-term access challenges at the QB mine. The company is aiming to have the QB mine fully operational by the end of 2024. Teck also completed the sale of its remaining 77% interest in its steel-making coal business to Glencore plc and announced a $2.75 billion share buyback. The company reported an adjusted profit of 79 cents per share for Q2, surpassing analysts' estimates of 73 per share. First Quantum begins commercial production at Zambia nickel mine. First Quantum Minerals has commenced commercial production at its Enterprise mine, set to become Africa's largest nickel operation and a significant player in the battery metals market. The Canadian company completed the project, located near its Sentinel copper mine in Zambia, in just over 2 years and declared commercial production on June 1st. The mine produced 6,147 tons of nickel in the second quarter, marking a 53% increase from the previous quarter. Production guidance for 2024 has been updated to 17,000 to 20,000 tons, driven by robust year-to-date performance. CEO Tristan Pascal highlighted the successful ramp-up at Enterprise and progress at the Kansanshi copper mine, targeting mid-2025 for completion of its S3 expansion. The mine is poised to become a top 10 global nickel producer, eventually producing 30,000 tons annually and employing over 900 staff. Vizsla Silver's Panuco blows past analyst estimates. Vizsla Silver's preliminary economic assessment reveals that its Panuco silver-gold project in Mexico has significant potential, boasting a $1.1 billion after-tax net present value and an 86% after-tax internal rate of return. With an estimated construction cost of $224 million, the proposed underground mine in Sinaloa could produce 162.1 million silver equivalent ounces over an initial 10.6-year lifespan. The project anticipates a significant cash flow with low capital spending and is expected to commence construction in the first quarter of 2026, followed by first production in the third quarter of 2027. The study also highlights Vizsla's strong financial position with $38 million in cash and $53 million in working capital. The Panuco project, which includes the Copala and Napoleon mines, is expected to have all-in sustaining costs of $9.40 per ounce and is projected to yield 9.3 million ounces of silver and 78,000 ounces of gold annually. The study indicates potential for further economic improvement as ongoing drilling continues to expand high-grade veins around the proposed mine plan. New Gold reports fatality at Rainy River Mine in Canada. Canadian miner New Gold announced on Wednesday that an employee at the Rainy River Mine in northwestern Ontario, Canada, has died while operating equipment in an open pit. Operations at the mine have been suspended as the company collaborates with local authorities to investigate the incident. Snowline drills more gold at Valley Deposit in Yukon. Snowline Gold announced promising early results from its 2024 drill campaign at the Valley Deposit in Yukon's Rogue Gold project. The first 2 drill holes returned significant high-grade gold intercepts, with one hole yielding 449.7 meters, averaging 1.77 gras per gold, including 169.2 meters of 2.89 gras gold, exceeding resource model grades by 36%. Another hole achieved 404.8 meters, averaging 2.27 gras per tac gold, including 100.8 meters of 4.67 grams per gold. These results affirm the strength and consistency of the deposit's near-surface gold mineralization. With 3 drills currently active, Snowline Gold continues its exploration, also noting visible gold at the Jupiter target within the Einerson project. Both projects are situated in the traditional territory of the Na-Cho-Nyek Dun First Nation. Gold price rally to boost profits for Newmont, Barrick Newmont Corp. And Barrick Gold Corp., the world's largest gold miners, are anticipated to report increased quarterly profits thanks to a surge in gold prices driven by potential U.S. interest rate cuts, election uncertainties, and global geopolitical risks. Analysts forecast a strong second quarter for both companies due to an 18% rise in spot gold prices, averaging $2,335.87 per ounce, and relatively stable costs. The NYSE Arca Gold Miners Index has also seen a significant rise of about 20%. Barrick projects progressive increases in gold and copper output throughout the year, bolstered by the Pueblo Viejo expansion and Nevada Gold Mines improvements. With costs steady, Barrick's margins may benefit from a $250 per ounce price rise, while Newmont's output is expected to be 26% higher than last year, reaching 1.56 million ounces. Newmont will report its results on Wednesday, with Barrick following on August 12th. Fortescue forecasts higher annual iron ore shipments. Australia's Fortescue Metals Group has forecast higher iron ore shipments for fiscal 2025, anticipating a range between 190 million and 200 million metric tons, following a record fourth-quarter shipment increase of 24%. This marks a rise from the 191.6 million tons shipped in fiscal 2024. The improved quarterly production was driven by a recovery plan addressing prior ore car derailments and weather disruptions. Fortescue reported shipping 53.7 million tons of iron ore in the quarter ending June 30th, surpassing both the previous quarter's 43.3 million tons and Visible Alpha's consensus estimate of 51.4 million tons. Vale to develop low-carbon megahubs in Brazil, U.S., and Middle East within a year. Brazilian mining company Vale plans to begin constructing megahubs to produce low-carbon iron ore products for the steel industry within the next 6 months to a year. These operations are being considered for locations in Brazil, the U.S., and the Middle East, with projects already announced for Oman, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. With over 50 memorandums of understanding signed with customers, Vale anticipates significant progress soon. The company will build and operate iron ore concentration and briquetting plants, while local partners will develop the necessary logistics. In the Middle East, operations will start with natural gas, transitioning to green hydrogen in Brazil, leveraging the country's energy competitiveness. This initiative aims to reduce carbon emissions significantly, aligning with global decarbonization efforts in the steel industry. Chile's lower house of Congress asks Boric to void Codelco SQM deal. Chile's lower house of Congress has approved a resolution urging President Gabriel Boric to annul an agreement that allows state copper company Codelco to partner with miner SQM in the lithium industry. The motion, led by the ruling coalition's Party for Democracy, PPD, was passed with 41 votes in favor, 15 against, and 10 abstentions. This agreement, part of Boric's plan to expand state involvement in lithium production, would extend SQM's extraction contract in the Atacama Salt Flat until 2060 and give Codelco a controlling stake in the project. Critics argue that the contract, expiring in 2030, should have been open to public bidding rather than a direct deal. The resolution calls for the deal's cancellation in favor of a public tender process. Despite the criticism, Boric supports the partnership, with Codelco chairman Maximo Pacheco defending it as financially beneficial for the state. Chile, the world's second-largest lithium producer, currently outputs lithium through SQM and Albemarle.